Hey guys, welcome to episode 21 of series 3 of 3 Laps 3 Topics, where today we're going to talk about the Belgian Grand Prix, probably one of the most controversial races in Formula 1 that we've seen in the last few years. Firstly, we're going to talk about the stewards, who for a lot of people were the people most at fault on Sunday for not even investigating the clash between Hamilton and Rosberg, yet giving penalties out for other lesser incidents, Kevin Magnussen being an example. My problem with this goes back to Austria, when they announced that they were going to be less strict and allow for more hard racing in the season, which for the spectacle of the sport is good. We saw that with the battle at the end of the race. But for me, you can't go changing the way the sporting regulations are officiated halfway through a season. You're going to get inconsistencies through the season. It's like with any sport, like say in football, that on the first weekend of the season, so much contact in a tackle is a foul, but then at the 38th game of the season, it's not. You can't go doing that. For me, the incident was very similar to the Felipe Massa-Lewis Hamilton incident at Singapore 2011, I think it was 2011, where Lewis quite rightly got a penalty for that. The way that the stewards have been viewing incidents has been the same. It was the same at the start of the season as it was back then. So that's where my problem is, that there's been a distinct change there that has affected a race result in terms of Rosberg's finishing position. It doesn't reflect well on the sport. It was a great injustice that Rosberg was still able to get a good finish, and his teammate in the end retired from the race. And I think it's dangerous territory that F1 and the FIA are treading at the moment. On the second lap, I wanted to talk about Rosberg himself and my opinions on him after this weekend. During the race itself, I actually thought that Nico had not hit Lewis intentionally, but it had been clumsy driving, a racing incident with clumsy driving on Nico's part that was worthy of penalty. With the comments from Rosberg that have come out in the media through Lewis Hamilton and through Toto Wolff post-race, that opinion for me has now changed. I'm still not 100% sure I agree with Lewis's interpretation of it, and I think I can see where Toto Wolff is coming from in his interpretation of it. Go check them out. But from Mercedes saying that what Lewis has said that Nico said is broadly accurate, I think what you can definitely be sure of is that Nico has deliberately put his car and Lewis's car in a risky situation to prove his point, whatever that may be. And my problem with that is, as an engineer myself, this kind of harks back to the Webber-Vettel Malaysia last year incident. Nico has taken a decision upon himself, selfishly, to basically ruin a lot of people's work, whether it be the engineers on Lewis's side of the garage, whether it be the engineers on his side of the garage, because there's still a potential that he could have won that race and he didn't. He has been incredibly selfish, and for me the attitude and the acts that he has displayed are not those of a worthy world champion. If he goes on to win this title, I'm not saying he's the worst world champion ever. If you want to know who the actual worst world champion ever is, go check out Harrison 101's stream that was on Sunday. But it doesn't reflect well on the sport. I love this sport. It's what's inspired me to what I do in my day-to-day life, whether it be on YouTube or in my career, and I don't want the sport to be won by someone who is clearly not worthy of the title. Anyway, after that little rant, quickly going to give my Driver of the Day award, although it's actually going to be Drivers of the Day. I mentioned it earlier, the battle, the four-way battle between Button, Magnussen, Alonso and Vettel at the end of the race was just fantastic. That is what Formula 1 is about. That is what motorsport is about. Great drivers fighting hard, fighting mostly fairly, and entertaining us fans and sending us home happy. So my drivers of the day are Kevin Magnussen, Fernando Alonso, Sebastian Vettel and Jenson Button. And just to reflect very, very quickly on Kevin Magnussen, I actually thought that was his best race of the year, even with the penalty that I think was a bit harsh after the race. I said in my mid-season review of all the drivers that I wanted to see Kevin step up and show himself to be better than Perez, which I think he did this weekend, and that was really good to see. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, then give it a like. If you haven't already, then why not click the subscribe button. On the screen are links to 2 videos that you may be interested in, videos that I've done recently. I've been Andrew the Blade. Leave your comments below, and I'll see you guys later.